I don't know if you can hear me, but I made it across. It's really bad here, Verlaine. I think there's something here.
Hello everyone and welcome to part 1 of the complete Alien Isolation. I'm wearing my special Nostromo hat for good luck. So I got, I think, from my very first Comic Con. Unfortunately, my early Comic Con. I'd like to go back at some point. Ooh, we can play Crew Expendable and Nightmare. We're not going to do that first. It's been a while since I played it. But still, ooh. Maybe we'll do that at the end. After we've completed the base game, we'll come back and do the DLCs on Nightmare, just to see how hard it is. Yeah, we'll go through on medium for the moment. And yeah, this stream is just going to be Crew Expendable. Tomorrow we'll do Last Survivor. Was it? No, it's Lone Survivor, sorry. Then after that, we'll start like the main game DLC. The Survivor DLC, that is.
Whatever it was big and...
You sure took him into the air shaft?
Disappeared into one of the cooling ducts.
My question is, it's using the air ducts to move around.
You know, the primary air shaft may work to our advantage. We can lead it through, down to the main airlock.
Who gets to go into the vent?
Now, typically when I play this, I play as Parker, because the ending of the DLC seems to be similar to a deleted scene he was going to be in. But instead, we'll go different this time and pick Dallas.
Well, I guess it'll be me. I lead into the primary air shaft. We trap it on the lower deck. Then Ash opens the airlock. I'll lock down the maintenance hatches where Parker, Ripley, and Lambert are tracking it on the way. Okay, let's do it, people.
And so the only two members of the Nostromo crew you can't play as are Ash and Lambert. I guess also Brett, because he's dead. Also, wait, I need to turn down the sensitivity. There you go, that's better.
We got an unexpected wake-up call. Yellow light. I spoke to Mother, and she's picked up a distress call, a repeating acoustical beacon from a nearby planetoid. Doesn't sound like any radio signal I've heard. As the suits listing know, company rules say we check it out. Now I've got to go tell the crew. They already know something's up. Tell us how.
I can't uncrouch. What's going on? There we go. I got worried then. I thought, oh no, don't tell me it's bugged. Interesting, because this looks like a schematic from... Yeah, this schematic is from Sevastopol. That's a Project K348, I think. So that's like the emergency airlock. It's the main area. So I don't know if that's just a placeholder they put in. Shame you can't see LV426 anymore from here. Be nice if you could like, look out the window and see it. But this is when they're on their way back to Earth. Or well, the core systems, that is. It's incredible though, just the amount of detail they've put into the environment. So yeah, you have the optional ones. I don't think there's a point system for this. So I don't think there's a thing where it's like, oh, if you don't pick up the flower medkit, you get more points. It might just be more of like a personal challenge. I just thought, is there an FOV slider in this game? I don't think there is. Nope. Also, you can change the difficulty in-game. That's a nice little thing. Also nice touch. The tracker is based on the original film. However, in survivor mode, I believe if you use the tracker as an original character, you just get the isolation version. You don't get like this this older model. The only thing I would have changed about this is make the tracker screen blue, because in the original film it was like blue and white. It would have been a bit too difficult to have like get your bearings with it. So this makes sense, but it would be nice if they had like a blue and white version instead, just so it's a little bit more accurate, but it's fine now they've done it.
The security system has shut a number of doors, so you'll need to gather equipment en route. Mother isn't really helping the situation, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know a lot about not helping, don't you, Ass?
Nostromo has landed on the surface of the planetoid the acoustical beacon is transmitting from. Dallas, Kane, and Lambert are making preparations to approach the beacon on foot. Surface structure is basalt, with traces of rhyolite and probable lava overlays. Atmosphere, inert nitrogen, a little oxygen, and high levels of free CO2. Pressure reads at 10 to the 4th dynes per centimeter. Quite the storm raging out there.
Yeah, so I don't think there's anything too important in these pictures. These are probably ones you can spot on Sevastopol. I wouldn't imagine they've made any new ones for this. Something interesting though is on this magazine, that is the Unisadora, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think that's the Unisadora. Because they were going, if you've got the concept art book for Isolation, they were going to make it like an actual full model by the looks of it. But I guess it just got cut out of the game. So instead, the only bit of you see is like sort of the edges when you go out for the flashback on 426. You don't actually get to see the whole
Security
ship.
system has shut a number of doors, so you'll need to gather equipment en route. Mother isn't really helping the situation, unfortunately.
Oh, you can't use the med lab in this version. Because in isolation on the torrents you can activate the beds and put it in the scanner, but you don't get the option here. Yeah, here's the face hugger. No one knows this little thing down here, I don't know what that is. It would be nice to get a bit more interactivity in the lab, like maybe open up a thing about the facehugger. Get some ideas that maybe Ash isn't playing ball with the rest of the crew. Yeah, that's everything we can pick up here though.
The security system has shut a number of doors, so you'll need to gather equipment en route. Mother isn't really helping the situation, unfortunately. Good luck.
Neither are you.
I'm closing the hatch behind you.
Okay, Ash. See you on the other side.
See which direction do you want to go first.
She took your time. Set up my side of the system. I'm a sitting duck here.
Sit tight, Lambert. It'll be over soon.
The thing you want to be careful about is what I found out. If you come out of this air vent, I think it will always open the door. So what happened was I came out the vent, went straight to the terminal, but because it opened the door behind me, the alien just saw me and killed me. So you need to be careful about that. So looking at it, the alien might be moving down the corridor away from us. Yes, it's in this corridor here, unless it's in the vent. Because even if we go through the vent, it will take us out into a long stretch. And I don't know if there's anything to hide behind down there. The server room should hopefully have a lot of stuff to hide in, which is good. I was hoping to have got under the table before it came out.
down. This plan is crazy. Some kind of suicide.
The other thing with these is there's no save stations. You have to do the whole thing over, I think, if you die. So what we need to do is we need to get into the landing claw bay, then go to each of those two rooms at the end, I think. And then back to primary aircraft. So what we might have to do is throw a flare, maybe in the server room if the alien shows up. What's the best way to go here? So there's the vent on the right. I don't think there's much cover though. Also just happens the alien is in the corridor we want to go. Oh, I heard a door, so I think it's gone into that first room. No, that was a tail. I was confused there, I was like, what was that? So I heard the wrong door. The door I heard was this room just on the left. I thought it was the one on the right. Right, okay. The other thing I do is throw a flare in here. Okay, that was definitely the door on our right, it opened.
Ash cut it. Guess what came out? Acid blood. No shit. Burned a hole through 3 decks. Wrecked my good pen. Dallas said to check it didn't hit anything vital, but I couldn't find any real damage. Gonna need one hell of a paint job, though. And I know who the likes to do it. We should never landed on this damn ball. Me and Parker, we told him that. Brett, over and out.
Shit. Whoa! I was expecting it to hit me. Thought it was going to run off. Oh, unicorn, Blade Runner reference.
We followed the beacon and found... I don't know, some kind of ship. Kane went down to check out part of it, and there was something down there, lots of things down there, all these eggs full of creatures. One attached itself to his suit, went through his visor onto his face. They let us back on the ship, thank God. Kane's still alive, but they don't seem to know what to do about him.
So I've gone the wrong way, we should have gone right first. Okay. This main stretch is a risk, but I don't think it usually shows up in the primary aircraft spot. That bit seems mostly safe in a matter of sense. If I could go down to primary aircraft, go out into that vent there, which will take me down to this middle corridor, go in this room in the left, and that vent, that would work. So I just need to go forwards and then right when I hit the vent. So if I was going to say if I'm smart I could maybe use a flare, but considering the door is there, the door shutting might alert it and it's going to come straight out and see us and kill us. Because if I could throw it down to primary aircraft, that would work really well. Because then we can go the opposite way and get hopefully pretty decent way. So we can't get to primary aircraft yet because I think we need to open the locks first. Already I can imagine Nightmare on this being extremely difficult.
okay with going in after that day?
Perks of being the captain. On the aft deck.
Right. Find the primary airshaft system and lead the creature down to the deck below. I can connect to the airlock systems from my terminal.
So now we need to get into the... Oh wait, there is something in here. Where though? There's something important I can interact with. A point of interest. Is that just because... Well, I didn't do it for the other rooms we were in. So... Ah, there it is. I don't know what happened there. It sounded like it was in the room with us for a second. Oh, that was unsettling. So I think it's gone just where I need to go. So how many... So one thing I'll be thinking of is going out the vent on the left and throwing a flare into that room. What? That's... What? Was the alien supposed to be there? I don't know what's happening. That unsettled me. Ah! No! No! Okay, my defense, I don't know what happened there. So, we went to the vent, but it like hadn't loaded in. So the vent hadn't loaded in, like the cover. We could see the alien sort of there. So I was immediately like, oh, has it just seen us? So we threw the flare as the vent was opening. I think we heard the alien run. But then instead of going through that vent, it ran to the other room to come through there. But it seemed to know where we were, but... I don't quite get what happened there. That seemed like a glitch killed us, and I don't quite know how the glitch worked. That other room might have items in it though.
We followed the beacon and found, I don't know, some kind of ship. Kane went down to check out part of it, and well, there was something down there, lots of things down there, all these eggs full of creatures. One attached itself to his suit, ripped through his visor onto his face. They let us back on the ship, thank God. Kane's still alive, but they don't seem to know what to do about him.
So our plan could have worked, but it appeared a glitch got us killed. So there's more flamethrower fuel in the landing claw base. If we can, we want to try and get back through there. One of the only problems with the ambience is it when the music swells, it makes me feel like I'm detected when I'm not, and it makes it a bit hard to know when. Well, because I assume you'll know when, because you hear the alien scream, but sometimes you don't hear it. Depends on how far away it is. So I'd like to throw down a flare to the primary air shaft. Then as it goes down that corridor, go through the vent and go through landing claw. Okay, I'm hoping that works.
Dallas, you okay?
On the aft deck.
Right. Find the primary air shaft system and lead the creature down to the deck below. I can connect to the airlock systems from my terminal.
So landing Claw Bay. If we can, I want to try and get here without using a flare, because I'll need to use one, I think, to lure it into the air vent. Or we might just have to use one in the lower deck anyway. So one idea could be to go the long way round, back through landing claw. That's a risk, and also because the alien just like keeps close to you anyway, even if it hasn't detected you. Pardon me. Which kind of makes that a bit of a challenge. Because I think was when they marketed Alien Isolation, the idea was that people had the idea the alien would randomly patrol the area, but it doesn't do that technically. Because instead, what it does is, even if it's in the vent, it will always sort of follow the player because it has a basic idea of where you are. And so that kind of becomes a problem here, because instead of it just randomly patrolling like this whole map, it instead will always stick close to the players. It'll always be in the same sort of general area you are. Which is why whenever we're in one of these rooms, the alien just hangs around outside. It doesn't go to like patrol somewhere else around here randomly. So in a sense, it does kind of break the experience a bit, because it's not like a true, like, random pursuing enemy like Mr. X in RE2. So for him, it seemed like he was actually patrolling the RPD, and if you ran or shot, he would come and find you. Where here, it's more of a case of the alien's just always around you. Which is kind of a shame. So right now, it's moving down the corridor we want to go. Also, occasionally, it'd be hard to tell when the alien's actually gone into a vent. That might just because the music's loud, but I'm not sure. So what I'm thinking of here is going into the vent on the left, and then going through to that one in the top, which will get us close to the primary airsoft room. Yeah, because even though it hasn't detected us, it's still just popping out the same vents in our general area. Also, as far as I know, it's not programmed to come into these rooms unless you attract it. Yeah, so whenever it goes in the vent, it always comes out that vent down there. So this vent is just bugged then. That's incredibly frustrating. At least by the looks, if the alien is in front of it, we can see it, but it can't see us.
I'm going into the primary shaft. Start crossing your fingers.
We're in position. I'm just trying to get a reading here.
So if we die here, I don't know if we have to go all the way back through that again. I hope not.
Hold on a second. I think I got it. Yes, it's in there with you.
Where?
Right around there. You're gonna have to be careful. Please. Oh no. That's it. That's it. Straight on. Straight on. Left. Right. Right.
Jesus! Oh! Did that thing just go in the exact vent we came out of? Oh. The gods were on our side. Oh, Jesus Christ. That startled me good. That startled me very good.
maintenance officer of the Nostromo. This is an official record in the ship's log of my actions today. A member of the crew was compromised by an unknown creature. I made the decision to allow him back on board without following established quarantine procedure. I'm opening the outer airlock, but it'll take time. Find somewhere to hide. It was a risk I was willing to take, and I will abide by whatever the company decides upon my return.
One problem is I can't remember what the button prompt is for if you're detected. Let me see, is it on the control scheme? Because I don't think it says. Right, okay, I need to check this then. Because I don't want to get killed because I don't know the prompt and it doesn't say. One says press LT. Well, something's going off in the other room. It's apparently L2. Okay. Because I think I've been checked in this locker before and it's killed me. Because I didn't know what the control was fast enough. It is nice though that they give you checkpoints. That's a nice feature. Yeah, because there I could hear it leave the go into the vent. That was quite loud, and that wasn't in the same room as us. There's some other times it's hard to hear.
Airlock is primed. Wait for it to enter the outer airlock chamber and be ready to close it in. It's moving in the right direction.
This might just be my headphones, but when I heard that, it sounded like it was coming from the right in front of me. But I think it was behind us. So I don't think there's a vent in this room. Also interesting, there's a vent in the outer airlock. I don't think you can go in that vent now. Not only that, I don't know why you'd want to go in. So this is a bit of a problem though for me, because if I'm hearing it in the wrong spot, that sort of stuff gets you killed. I don't know if it's just because of the location's a bit odd. Yeah, right now it kind of sounds like it's in front of me. Because I just heard it walking about on my right, and then suddenly it's gone into the vent without me hearing it, and it's now on my left. It might just be my headphones just aren't that good, but usually the sound direction's fairly decent on them. So yeah, that sounds like it's in front of me right now. But it's not, it's going to be in this hallway here, I imagine. Because perhaps there's a bit of the map it's not showing me yet, but I'm pretty sure this is the full map, so I don't know what's happening there. The way I see it though, I've got plenty of flamethrower fuel. Yeah, it sounds like it's right next to me to my right, which isn't correct. And now it's suddenly back in the vent. and in front of me. See, the sound isn't quite working for me. I don't know if it's just my headphones or if it's just DLC just isn't scored correctly. But it doesn't sound right at all. One thing I'm thinking though is I've got plenty of fuel, so I might just have to risk it. At the moment, I assume it's where I need to go in there. There it is.
Something strange happening here.
It was worth a try. We're going to have to think of something new. Bring back life form. Priority 1. All other priorities rescinded. You can't. You still don't understand what you're dealing with, do you? Perfect organism. Its structural perfection is matched only by its hostility. I admire its purity. A survivor. Unclouded by conscience, remorse, or delusions of morality.
So those were...
Last word. I can't lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathies.
Those were Ass's words from the first film, when he's discovered. So yeah, so the ending to this, from what I understand, is I'm pretty sure it's based off one of the deleted scenes for the original film. Parts of it were filmed, but not all of it. The idea would be that Parker sees the alien enter the airlock, thinks signals for Ripley and Lambert to activate it, but as it does, the alien gets startled and runs out, but as it's running out, the door shuts on it, and it sort of injures it, and so its acid blood breaks the airlock so they can't use it again. Parts of it they filmed were the bits with Lambert and Ripley in the command centre. It's in the novelization has a scene which is played out a bit longer where I think it's that Parker sees it enter the airlock, Ripley's with him, but as they try to vent it out, the alien runs out, scratches itself on the door, the outer door opens, and because the acid burns through, it causes a hull breach, and so Parker and Ripley are trapped in a room which I think has no air, or it's losing air, and they have to try and drill into the bit where the pressure is so they can get air in. It was a good sequence, but I guess they couldn't have done it for the film because of budget reasons and such. I think there's maybe production stills which show what the scene could have looked like. But I think that's what the ending of that implies, which is typically why I play Parker for that, because it's, well, Parker's scene in a way. But yeah, I don't know if I want to play it at a nightmare difficulty, because that seems like it's going to be, well, a nightmare. But even when I was thinking playing this, and I think playing it's proved it, to me at least, maybe proved the point, because the alien always knows where the player is, and it just follows round about their rough position, it does make stuff like this more difficult than it should be, because instead of it just randomly patrolling, it's always where you are in sort of the general area, so it can make it really hard just to move away and go to some other place. because it's constantly just going into the same 2 air vents coming out and in, which is the same, because it does make it more tedious to try and escape. It's like, well, I can't really go anywhere because the alien just keeps hounding me in this one spot. It's not going to patrol somewhere else. So it definitely seems to be scripted, because when we're in one of the rooms, it would go to the vent on the left, and then immediately come out on the right, and it seemed to be coming out the same vent every time. So it does seem to be scripted. Seeing as when we enter the claw room, I think it always comes out that door on the right as well. It might be randomised in a sense, so it'll switch between like scripted sequences, but I think it always does the same thing. And I recognise that in the base game as well, but it's, if you look at it in San Cristobal, it's not a random path it follows, it is scripted. And it says like, oh, sometimes it might randomly turn around, but I don't think I've noticed that all that much. It usually just keeps going in a scripted path. So in a sense, if you know what you're doing, you can just evade it without going to the lockers and stuff, just keep walking around. And the higher difficulties it gets harder because it shows up more often. I still think Alien Isolation is a brilliant game. It's just, I don't know if I would say it's as good as I originally thought it was. Which is a shame. But it's definitely so far, I think, the best Alien game we've had. The second one being Aliens Infestations, which, you know, Sega, you seem to acknowledge Alien Isolation recently, and you're like, oh, guess what game this is? Like, could we have a port of Aliens Infestations, please? Like, I would pay good money to play Infestation in HD on Nintendo Switch. Like, I would pay good money to have that. Especially as it's beside Alien Isolation, it is the best Alien game. Just Isolation, I think, beats it out just a little bit more. But anyway, I think pizza's going to be ready soon, so I'm going to head downstairs. Tomorrow we're going to do Lone Survivor. Or was it Last Survivor? Well, no, it is Last Survivor. And so that will mark the end of the original film sort of content. And then we'll move on to the Survivor DLC, which I've never experienced before. Because I've done Last Survivor and Crew Expendable 4, I think on my old channel. And I think I might have done it on this one, I can't remember. But anyway, so tomorrow, Last Survivor. And then after that, it's, I think, Corporate Lockdown is the first DLC. Then it's Trauma. And then we'll go through after that. I think the one I'm most looking forward to is the Safe Haven one. Pardon me. And there's another one. I can't remember the name of it, but he plays Axel, and that's the second scavenger mode. Yeah, I think it's called scavenger mode, where essentially you're in like a safe area, and every so often, and you have to leave and like hunt down items and bring them back. So there was a mode in Metro Last Light, which was a DLC, which is a bit similar, where you start off in a safe room, you have to go out onto the surface, bring items back to get money. So it might be a similar thing to that. I think I've heard they're the hardest one, but we'll have a look. I am excited though, because at the end of the day, we don't have Alien Isolation 2. So for me, the Survivor content is stuff I've never experienced before, so it's brand new content for Alien Isolation. But that will have to wait, because I will see you next time.